Okay, now we're going to get into the rocket fuel that supplies and runs the engine that is the viral site system. In this module, I'm going to talk about Facebook advertising and 101. I'm going to talk specifically about why we use Facebook ads, how you're going to become an expert over time, understand the difference between the different types of Facebook ad accounts, understanding Facebook ad account bans and how it's just part of this business, knowing the rules, getting prepared to fund your ad spend, understanding your budget and cash flow, tracking your analytics, and understanding testing and the VSS ad flow. I'm going to go over a lot in this session. So this is one that you'll probably want to come back to and refer to over and over again. You know, the first thing that I want everyone to understand is why we use Facebook ads. Facebook ads is what triggers the viral flood of traffic. Now, we can use other traffic sources, and we're going to talk about some of those, but by far, Facebook is what triggers viral traffic, especially with the viral site system. So, for example, in this ad that you're looking at right here, this particular one makes me a consistent 25 to 30 bucks a day. It's a really great post income stream. And notice how you can see down here the paid traffic versus the organic traffic. You know, a lot of people will share these posts, and so it's this balance. And sometimes you'll get one that will take off like crazy and your return on your investment is just huge. But it's Facebook that really triggers the viral nature of this. Now I want you to sit back and think about something. You will become an expert over time. I know some of you are sitting back here thinking, I don't know anything about Facebook ads. I don't know anything about any of this stuff. This is brand new to me. And you're right. You know, think about back when you were a baby. When you were a baby, you didn't know how to do the things you know how to do right now. It took some time. You had to learn. You had to learn to crawl. And while you learn to crawl and while you're learning your business, it's going to take a little time to become kind of an expert at that. And while you're doing it, you're probably going to fall. You're learning to walk and crawl. You're going to fall and you're going to make some mistakes and you're going to fall down. You get some bruises. And at the end of the day, it's your desire to make this work that's going to help you to become that champion. I want you to have a long-term vision with this because many people, they get involved and they just really think 30 days out into the future. But if you have a broader vision and say, hey, listen, I know, you know, in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 10 years, I'm going to be this expert. And I'll look back at, you know, when I was scared to do Facebook ads and I thought I didn't have a budget for it. And I'll look back and I will laugh and I will smile at my limited vision of where I could go. Because the reason I'm telling you this is I know some people here sit here and go, I don't think I could do this. I don't know anything about I don't even hardly have any money for advertising. And I promise you, if you stick with this, even the smallest amount of budget can be used to fund your business. And what I would recommend to you is if you are on a super tight budget, pick that advertising budget. And then when you make your profits, reinvest it back in your business. Reinvest it back in your business instead of going and spending that money. So that's just a little bit. I just want you to kind of have that long-term vision. And what's great is I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So we've already helped you overcome a lot of the hurdles. We're going to show you exactly. So we helped you pick the right niche. We've helped you. We're going to show you exactly how to do the ads. But I'm going to continue right now and just kind of help you get a little bit of understanding about the Facebook marketing and explain it. So again, this will be new to some of you, and don't worry, just go over these sessions over and over again, go into the forums, and we're more than happy to help. Okay, so there's different types of Facebook advertising accounts. If you go into your Facebook account right now and you click on the little link right here, you're probably going to see something that says create an ad or manage an ad. And if you don't see that, you can just look, there's usually a link right inside your administration area where you can go to the ads. That's a Facebook ad account, and everyone gets a kind of like their own ad account. So in addition to that, there's what's called a business manager account. Now, I'll explain the difference between them, but here's the deal. We're going to be using both. We're going to be using your personal ad account, and we're going to be setting up business manager account ad accounts. And you're going to be doing both of those before you ever even do your advertising. So let me kind of go over this again. A personal ad account, everyone has in Facebook, and you can only have one of those. All right, it is linked directly to your Facebook account, like I was just showing you. Business manager account, you can have up to 1,000. Okay, when you start your business manager account, they'll probably give you 2 or 3. Then we'll show you in another video how to request, and they'll give you. It changes all the time. Sometimes it used to be 10, now it's 50. Now I've heard other people talking about it's easy to get 500, get 1,000. I mean, you're never going to need that money until you really scale. I mean, you're probably going to end up using over time 10 different accounts, maybe even more. So it just kind of depends as you scale over time. So what is Business Manager? It's created for businesses, which you are, and agencies, people who manage ad accounts for other companies. So if you were like an agency and you're managing the ad account for XYZ, business over here and the McDonald's over here. So I want you to start thinking of yourself as an ad agency. You're a business owner, but you're going to be running ads for multiple different accounts. And think of yourself as an agency. And when you communicate with Facebook, you need to let them know you're basically managing accounts for other businesses, that you're an agency. I'm going to reiterate this. You want to set up both types of ad accounts before you start running any ads, and I'll explain that why. You want to make sure you have your personal ad account set up and linked to a credit card, and business manager account set up and linked, have the account created at least. I'll go over that here in a minute. Let's talk about Facebook ad account bans and how it's just part of this business. Now, what do I mean? Well, okay. Facebook will sometimes, not just sometimes, but they will ban your Facebook ad account from time to time. And it kind of goes in waves, and there's usually there is a rhyme or reason why it happens. It's usually because you've broken some rule, and maybe you didn't realize you broke it, but you still broke it. Or there's something where you're just walking on the edge of the line and someone at Facebook thinks you've crossed the line, and so they ban your ad account. Well, the good news behind this is it just happens to everyone. Okay, and you could sit there and you can beat yourself up about why, and you can get mad and angry. I was just actually talking to someone the other day who's not in our viral site system, and he said, "Oh, I'm not going to do Facebook advertising because I don't like their policy on banning ad accounts." And I'm like, well, okay, but that's fine. You're missing out on a huge boat. So you can go do whatever you want to do, but we're going to stick with Facebook ad accounts and just kind of figure it out along the way. And we're going to, just like that runner follow down the track, we're going to pick ourselves back up and get running. There's always a way to get back running in this business. And sometimes I call it the game. So why does Facebook do this in the first place? You might get your frustrations. You might get frustrated and wonder, why? I didn't do anything. Well, they have to prevent fraud. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to defraud Facebook, and they want the end user to have a really good experience at the end of the day. And that's what I want you to really understand is your end user, who is the visitor to your website, needs to have a good user experience in all levels. And so because of all the fraud and all the people trying to send people the low quality stuff, they've just had to do this. And also because they are such a huge there's so much traffic on Facebook that sometimes their policies take good people like you and I, and we get caught in the friendly fire, and sometimes there's nothing we can do about it but move on, and it's just because of somebody else we get punished for it. But it's okay, we'll just move on. It's life. Deal with it. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it cause you to quit. All right, there's always a way to keep running. That's why you need to be prepared, and that's why we're doing these sessions here. Even the best ad accounts get banned from time to time, but the good thing about it is many times you can get them back. My personal ad account was banned a long time ago, and I'm still working on getting it back. And I don't know if it'll ever get back, but that's okay. I don't worry. I've got lots of other avenues. Here's the thing. If you're conservative and you really understand the rules and you try your best, you'll hold on to your ad accounts longer. And that's just a fact. When we first started doing this, we kind of didn't know this, and so we were just trying all kinds of things, and we would easily get an ad account banned, and because we were just crossing that line. And so we're going to talk about some of the rules here and how you can stay, behind the line and not get too close to the edge here. So let's do it now. Let's talk about those Facebook rules. Know the rules. I would go to this website here, facebook.com/policies/ads, and I would read this, and I would study it, and I would read it multiple times. I want to go over a couple of the policies right here. Whenever you place an ad, there's what's called an ad review process, and they're going to go through and they're going to review your ad. Now, it's usually an automatic process at the beginning. Now, when you have a brand new ad account, they're going to especially look at your ads at the very beginning. So you want to do it in a very special way. And we're going to show you how to do that in one of the other videos as far as placing your first ad. So the very first time you run an ad, it's going to take longer to get it approved. It can take 24 hours. We've generally found it shorter than that, but we have seen it take 24 hours. So they have all kinds of do's and don'ts in here. There are certain age restricted material, so you'll want to make sure you read through all of this, things you should know, all of this prohibited content. This might be one of the most important things that you understand is the prohibited content. If you have an ad or a picture of an ad that talks about any of these things, your ad will be disapproved, and many times they will just cancel your ad account, especially if you're brand new. They kind of have like a 0 strikes rule. So you break the rule once, your ad account is banned, and sometimes you can get it back and sometimes you can't. So understand all of these, and they even have some clear examples of things that will definitely get your ad account banned. Things like this, okay? And they'll give you some very clear examples. Sometimes you're gonna pull your hair out because something you think was fine wasn't fine. And you can battle Facebook on these sometimes and get those back, but they give you kind of ideas here of what is acceptable and what is not. This is one thing, like when you do a Facebook ad, you can't have what looks like a video play button there, because that's just one of the policies they've had for a long time. You can't do like before and after images. They're really strict on that. And they talk about lots of the different things in here. Restricted content and very specific things if you live in certain areas, like alcohol, dating. They don't allow dating stuff. Gambling or gaming, state lotteries, online pharmacies, supplements, subscription services, branded content. So you just kind of got to watch exactly what the rules are. They talk about video ads. Very important to understand. Video ads, we're playing with a lot of those. And then targeting. So you have to be careful about your targeting, that you're relevant, that your position is relevant, accuracy, and then the landing page. I would think these things right here, especially right now, are the top things that get people's ad accounts banned, because you want to be relevant to the people that you are targeting. So if I'm doing an ad about something like pregnancy and I'm targeting, people that like Lord of the Rings, well, that's not relevant. People aren't going to like it and they're going to hide the post. The accuracy is, how like you see these ads that say, hey, the 20 weirdest pictures of Europe, castles, and number 7 will shock you, and then you can never find 7. The accuracy of your ad must represent when people go to it. So in a clear example is this. If you say, this video is the cutest thing I've seen all day, and then when they go to the page, if there's no video there, then that's an issue. That's one thing that we found would get ad accounts canceled. So if what your ad says goes to the landing page and it's not there, that's a problem. Now, as we go through and actually create some of these ads, we'll talk about these specific things. And then your landing pages, they need to be clear, uncluttered, and the bottom line is your landing page, if someone comes down and all it is ads, and they just get lost and confused, you're going to have issues. And that's why we've designed our sites the way we do, because they have that optimal look where we still get a great audience response. So you can read through some of these others, and just very, very important to understand all the rules. There's probably even more in here that they're not even listed, and sometimes you'll get an ad disapproved and they'll tell you you like never even heard of that rule. So it's really understand as much as possible, and you'll learn as you get going. All right, let's talk about getting prepared to fund your ad spend, and I'll talk about budgets here in just a moment. So the way Facebook takes payment is credit card, PayPal, online banking, and Facebook ad coupon. Well, there's really only one of these options that I consider the most viable option. PayPal definitely can be one of your options, but you only get one PayPal account. Online banking, it's pretty tough. You don't want to, there's a little lag and delay to getting those payments out there. It's, it can be like a short-term solution, but again, it's not good for scaling. But credit cards are the answer, credit debit cards. So I'm going to talk about credit or debit cards. Now, if you don't have a credit or debit card, get one. And if you don't have one till then, you could use PayPal, or you can use a bank account. But you gotta have something to fund your accounts with. Don't think you can do this business if you don't have one of those, because you can't run Facebook ads if you don't. So let's talk about credit card option or the debit card option. So we're going to be running multiple ad accounts over time. Now you'll just get started with one, but you need to be prepared to have multiple ad accounts. So you need to have multiple credit cards ready. If you only have one, start with one. But know that eventually you'll need to have multiple ones, because you can't use the same card on other accounts. One of the great ways and secrets that we have used for many, many years are cards from American Express. And American Express has business cards, and you do need to have a business to do this. It's either the gold or the platinum card, or they even have the blue card, which is an actual credit card. And what they allow you to do is they allow you to get employee cards. And even though it's in the name of an employee, that employee can be anybody pretty much. It can be a family member, it can be a friend. Just go get their permission first and then add them. They also allow you with that to have, I think, one or two additional cards just in your name with different numbers. What you're looking for is a credit card with a different number, so that when you put it into these different ad accounts, it's not the same number. Because if you go to put a credit card in to an account that already has it, it says, sorry, you can't, that card's already being used. And if you're ever dealing with an account that's been flagged or banned, and you put that credit card number into a different account, it's very possible that they're going to ban that account too. So again, only one credit card per account. And if that credit card gets banned, you can never ever use that card again. What I mean is you can never use that card number. So call your credit card company, get a new card issue with the card number. Just tell them, hey, I just need a different card number. I feel more safe and secure. I just need a different number. They do it all the time now these days with all the fraud that's going on. So cut up that number, don't ever use it again, and then get a new card number. I want you to understand your budget and your cash flow, because you need to set your budget for your business, and everybody's budget will be different than the next guy. You may set your ad budget at $100 a month. You may set it at $500 a month. You may set it at $1,000. You may set it at $10,000 a month. I don't know where you're at in your business, but it doesn't matter. I would say at least a $50 to $100 a month budget is where you would want to start for your business. Now, don't let that get you out of the game. You can start lower than that, but just stick to your budget. Don't overextend yourself, because the last thing you want to do is rack up a bunch of credit card debt because you overextended yourself with the budget as you started to ramp this up. And believe me, it's easy to do, especially when you start getting a lot of traffic that has a tendency to want to just spend. And the problem is, and I'll tell you that in just a minute, your monthly advertising budget, stick to it, know what it is. And there might be sometimes when you're done, you need to stop your advertising or slow it down. And sometimes that can be problematic, because if you have ads running at a certain budget, you don't want to touch them. And so if you manipulate the ad budget, sometimes it can take a while to get it back running again. So does that make sense? All right, you'll understand as you get going with this. But this is the most important thing about your cash flow, especially with Google AdSense and some of the other networks. It's going to take 30 to 60 days to get paid from Google AdSense. Let me explain how this works. And you can go to AdSense, just type in how do you get paid on AdSense, or when do you get paid. For example, let's say you accrue estimated earnings throughout the month of June. By July, so in June, you got traffic to your site. By July 3rd, you'll see your June 1st through 30th finalized total earnings credited in your payment history. Then you'll be issued a payment for your June earnings and any other credits on your balance on one lump sum on July 21st. So for example, June 1st, I make some money on some ads. I'm not going to see that till July 21st, almost a full 60 days, a little less than 60 days. So imagine you spend, say you're spending, whatever your budget is a day. You're spending, $10 a day. Let's just say, for example, say you're spending $10 a day. So that's, you've gone through a month there. So that's 30 days. So what? That's $300. And then you're going to go through 21 days in July. Say you're still spending $10 a day. That's 210. So now you've spent 500 and so you've got 300 plus 210. So that's $510. Now the AdSense check that you're going to get in July, how much is that going to be for? Let's just say, for argument's sake, you're doubling your money. So you're taking in $20 every day, right? So what was that? That first AdSense check is going to be $300. But by July 21st, how much have you spent in ads? Well, you've spent $510. Okay, so if you're going to get that check, $300 minus 510. That means at that point you're still $210 in the hole. Now, you're not really in the hole because now those months of July have come, and you're also accruing payments that'll happen in August. Does that make sense? So in August, now you're going to get a check for the month of July earnings. So the problem you can have is if you continually increase your spending over time, then it's a little tough to finally, at some point you got to get that stopping point where you're going to get a larger check. And that's what will happen, is your AdSense check will get larger and larger and larger. But if you keep spending faster than your earnings, some of you, you're going to be okay with that because you know the payout's going to be 3 or 4 months, but others of you are not. And so just be really careful of your spending, that you don't overextend yourself. Now, I hope I haven't confused any of you with this, but if you just kind of put it down on pen and paper and you kind of understood how that works, you just kind of get that idea of that money that you spend now, you're not going to recoup that for up to 50 to 60 days. That's an important thing about this flow ball. I will tell you one thing. Once you get down the road, these checks will get larger and larger and larger, and your traffic will get amazing. You can get these amazing AdSense checks into your bank account, so it is more than worth it. The other thing is, some people will stop their spending and then just kind of wait for that AdSense check to come and then reinvest part of that as their next spending and then keep going. Okay, so it's really important to understand your cash flow. And how do we track our profits? Well, with analytics. And I'll just tell you one more time, you've got to watch the video about analytics, the key to profits, because as you spend money, you need to know if you're making money on your ad spend. And following our system, we'll show you how you can many times double your spend. Our goal is to make 20 to 100% return. And 20 is actually a really good return. 100 is awesome, and sometimes we get even higher than 100%, 110%. Sometimes we'll even get up to 1,000%, but you'll never know what your return is unless you track your analytics. So what you'll need to do is understand testing. So we're going to do a lot of testing as we build our ads in Facebook. And so the thing is, what's the goal? Is to find a post income stream. Find that post that's going to make you that $25, $30, $75 a day. Well, it's going to take some testing, and these little tests are going to cost you about $5 each. And plan to know that your first one could be a winner, your 10th one could be a winner. You never know when you're going to find a winner. Be prepared to spend about $5 to $50 just to find a winner. It could be more, especially when you're learning. And so just really keep an eye on that. We're going to help you. If you need help in the mastermind area, just let us know. Share us some of your stats. We can give you some ideas. But once you've found that winner, all you have to do is really maintain it and feed it. And we'll talk about feeding it and maintain it for months and months and months. So I'm going to kind of give everyone kind of a high level overview of kind of the flow of how it'll work with your Facebook advertising and just kind of the whole viral site system flow. So here's how it kind of works. So you've got your site going in about 10 to 14 days of site content. That means like 3 articles per day, no ads running on your site. You've got a nice content coming in. You start to do a like campaign. So you spend $5 a day for a like campaign. You might do that for 4 days. So set a little budget for $20 to drive some likes to your account. And that will start, that'll get your first billing on Facebook. You kind of want to run that like campaign until you get that first little billing trigger. And I'll talk about that here when we actually go to do your Facebook account. Then you might do some photos and just get some people liking and sharing photos. People really like that. Kind of the goal is to get your Facebook account to spend $25 and let them bill you for the first time. You might even do a promoted post that's like super fun, exciting, that people will really like. Spend $5 and this whole time your site's getting ads, it's getting likes, excuse me. There's no ads on your site, to be clear. Once you spend about $25, maybe to $50 during over that 10 to 14 days, there's no ads on your site. Then you're going to apply for AdSense. And either if you don't have an AdSense account, you can follow one of our videos. You can apply for an AdSense account, and that'll take 24 to 48 hours to get approved. Once you're approved, or if you already have an AdSense account, you can put AdSense on your site. And again, we have the videos that walk you through this. And then you're just going to continue that flow. You're going to do 2 to 4 daily article posts onto your blog, onto your website, and then you're going to post those to Facebook. That's when you start doing your tests, your $5 promoted tests, post tests. And then you continue with maybe a few $5 promoted photos. We only do those every so often, especially maybe a little bit more at the beginning, because that helps us get more likes on our page. We found that by doing promoted photos, we tend to get more likes than sometimes even like campaigns. So $5 promoted article tests, and we start getting those going. Maybe you have 1 to 4 going at a time. Maybe you're spending $20, and then you're letting those run, and then you're canceling some of those out, and you're looking for the winner. And once you've found the winner, we'll generally take that post and we'll crank up that post to $25, and then we'll let it run for a couple of days, and then we'll see if it optimizes. We're kind of still in that testing, and usually it will if you've done your legwork right. It'll optimize at 1 cent or less, and then it'll just run. And it'll run for days and days and days, and could even run for years. And a lot of that's going to depend on some of the variables, and we're going to talk about that when I actually go to show you how to do your Facebook. But that's how it is. I mean, basically you find a winner, and then you just let it run, and for $25, and then you can, later down the road you can bump that up a little bit. But kind of the goal is to make about $20 to $75 a day for each one of your posts. Well, that's just kind of the basics, and you'll understand it as you get going through it, and you'll actually do it. So that's Facebook Advertising 101. You're going to learn so much, and a lot of it is you're going to learn as you're doing. If you need help, you have questions, that's what the mastermind is for. And also the how-to is got a lot of great guides that'll show you little quick video tidbits on everything about Facebook.